Hey y'all, Bridget Bartlett here, and today I'm going to show you how to create a rewards card for your business using Boomerang Me and how to connect the account to your client's high-level sub-account within your agency. Before we get started, you can create a free trial of Boomerang Me and HighLevel by clicking the link in the description or by visiting myvisionagency.com. So inside of the dashboard, you see this over here is HighLevel. This is actually the Boomerang Me installation. Once you install it, you can either provide the software for your client to create the card themselves, or you can actually create this for them and get everything set up for them so that they can actually start using it. So on the left-hand side here, you'll see this little picture of a card. You want to click that to actually create the cards, and you can choose from a template. So I'm going to go ahead and click there. Okay, so now we can scroll through the templates and see which one we want to use. Of course, we can create a custom one if we want to, but for the sake of this training, let's just go ahead and choose this one here. And now we want to create a stamp, a rewards card, a membership card, discount, cashback, coupon, multi-pass, or certificate. For this training, I'm just going to go ahead and create the stamp card. I'm going to go ahead and click enter or continue. And we can choose the language that we want to use for our card. We could also choose the card expiration date, a fixed term, or fixed term after card issuing. You can also choose locations. So as I discussed yesterday in our training, you can actually set locations for the card to automatically send notifications, like a push notification, to your card holders if they are within 330 feet of your business location. You can add up to 10 locations if you have the agency plan for the business. So you can add those locations there. I'm not going to set a location for this card here, but you can also see all of the fields when they are registering for the card. You can either add different fields or you can take some away. Since this is a phone-based system, they do recommend that you keep the phone number for sure, but if you needed to add additional cards, you could do that here. Now, you can also create UTM parameters. So if you want to run paid ads, you could do that here. For example, if I wanted to create a Google ad, I could just type in Google, and then I could create the UTM parameters. It will create this link for me, and then I can put that into my Google ads. I can also mask the phone number if I want to show which country it's coming from. Let's just say United States. You could also add your privacy policy here, or you could disable that. You could also add the consent to the processing of personal data. You could disable that. However, I recommend keeping them on. If you have any scripts or like a Google Tags Manager or maybe your Facebook Pixel, you can add all of that here. I'm going to go ahead and continue. Now you can choose the number of stamps that you want to use. You can add those here. So if I wanted to just maybe have 14 stamps, I could choose that. You could also choose the icon for the stamps here. Now, since this is for a cinema, it's defaulted to popcorn, but you can choose any of these icons here. Now, if for some reason, even though there are tons of icons, if there's some reason that you can't find the icon that you're looking for, you can actually use a site called fontawesome.com, and you can search for icons there. There are free and paid icons, but there are tons of free ones that you can choose from. Okay, so you can choose a different one for the active or inactive stamps if you prefer. You can also add your logo in your icon and even change the image in the background if you want to brand it to yourself or your business. You can also change all of the colors, which I highly recommend because you want to be congruent with your brand. So you just want to add the hex codes there. Just a little tip, I love to use Canva's brand hub, and you can add all of your brand colors inside of Canva. That way, anytime that you need them, you just come to the hub, you can click there, and then you can copy that hex code. You can also use it inside of any of your Canva graphics that you are creating for your social media. So it's just a very, very useful strategy and a good place to keep those. That way you remain congruent, Not all purples are created the same, so you want to make sure that you're using the exact colors of your brand when creating all of your digital assets. You also have the fields names here. So if you did not want it to say the stamps until reward, for example, if you didn't want it to say that, you could change that. If you didn't want it to say summary stamps count, you could change what that says there as well. Also for available rewards, maybe you want to change what that says, and you can change the verbiage here. Also, you can choose whether you want your logo at the card issuing form or the background. You can toggle those on or off. I'm just going to keep them on, and we'll go ahead and click continue. Also, you have the card descriptions here that you can change, how to earn a stamp. You can change your company name, reward details, the number of stamps earned message, and then the earned reward message. The number of stamps when issuing the card, you could change that there. So maybe if they download the card, then you want to go ahead and give them like a bonus 4 stamps or something like that. You could set that there. You could also do multi-rewards. You could choose to redeem the reward automatically. You can actually create a referral program, which is actually really cool, so they can earn points and stamps for referring your business. You can also add bonuses at the moment when the first visit or the card is used by the new customer, or card issuing to a new customer. You can also create the stamps counts for a referral. So like I said, if they refer your business, maybe you want to give them 4 stamps to help them towards their rewards, and then also stamp count for a new customer here. You could also add links here. So if you want to add a link to your website or a special offer, or maybe encourage a phone call or an email, or even to visit your business, you can add that here. And then if you want to ask for feedback and leave your Google My Business link for your review, you could do that here, or Yelp or any other review link that you have. And then of course you could also add your terms of service. You could link to your full terms of service if you have that on your website, and then you can also add the company name that will show up on the back of the card. Once this is complete, you want to click finish. And then you'll see here you have a QR code. The QR code is great to print out, and you can put this on your location doors. You could put this on your YouTube videos. You could put this on the tables of your restaurant or your client's restaurant. You could also copy the link here. You want to make sure first that you activate the card, okay? Now, it's really important when you are activating to know that you cannot edit these things once the card has been activated. So if you're sure this is exactly how you want it, go ahead and activate, and then your card will be activated and ready to start using. I'm going to go ahead and click skip here and then continue. And I am going to grab the link. I'm going to click save and preview, and I'm going to grab the link to this card here. Now, what I want to do is we need to now figure out, if I open up an incognito window, you'll see here, this is what the card actually looks like. So I grab that link, and now you'll see the registration form here. So this is what everyone is going to see. It's very similar to a leads form on Facebook or a leads form on Google. It's just a basic form that we want to capture their information. Okay, so once this is filled out, they will get their rewards card. Before we do that, we need to figure out how we can send this data to our HighLevel account. Okay, so what we want to do is click the settings and go to webhooks. And here you can add a webhook. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. And what I want to do is I want to send a notification when a new card is installed. So when a customer has filled out the form and has the card installed, what I want to do is now notify my HighLevel account of this card member and their information. Now, before I can do that, there's actually 2 different strategies or methods that you can use to connect this. One of them, I'm going to show you how to do this internally within HighLevel, and then the other option, I'm going to show you how to use Pabbly Connect, because this would be the same process if you maybe are not even using HighLevel, but you want to use Boomerang Me, and then you could actually send that data anywhere that you wanted it to go. Okay, so before we do this part, let's go ahead and go into the automation tab, and we're going to create a new workflow. I'm going to just go ahead and start from scratch. Let's call this Boom New Customer. And my first step is going to be an inbound webhook. So you see here that as soon as I select that, I get a webhook here. So now what I want to do is I want to take this back into the settings. I'm going to go to add webhook. I'm going to paste the link that I just got from HighLevel, and then I'm going to choose card installed is going to be the event that I want to trigger this webhook. So I'm going to go ahead and click add webhook, and now that webhook has been installed. I want to go ahead and show you the other way that we can do this using Pabbly, and then we're going to run one test, and then it's going to pull in the information to Pabbly and also to this webhook. Now you don't need to do both. I am just doing both in this way because I only want to run one test and then have that data be used in both places. Okay, so again, you don't need both. I'm only doing this to save a step from two tests. Okay, so now I want to go to Pabbly. Now that this is set up, I want to go to Pabbly. I'm going to create a new workflow. I'm just going to call this Boom and create. Now my first step, remember what we're doing with Pabbly is we are wanting to have one software talk to the other. So the first step here is going to be from Boomerang Me when they actually install a card. So I'm going to choose the software, and then I'm going to choose the event that is going to be created. So I'm going to say when a new customer is created, and I'm going to click connect. Now, if you do not have your Boomerang Me account connected, what you'll have to do is go to add new connection, and you're going to want to grab the API key. The API key can be found here in your integrations, and all you need to do is copy here. And then what you're going to do is go back to Boomerang Me, and you're going to paste that into the API. And that's what's going to connect your Boomerang Me account to Pabbly. Now, I already have this connected, so I'm just going to go ahead and choose my existing connection and save. Now, what I need to do is I need to save and send a test, okay? So now this is where we're at with both Pabbly and with our HighLevel account, okay? So now we need to run a test, and what's cool is that test is actually going to work for both the Pabbly workflow and for our HighLevel workflow. In our incognito window, let's go ahead and fill out the card here. So we're going to say Sandy Doe is the name, and we're going to go ahead and add a phone number. Let's just say 888-567-8910, and we'll add a date of birth. Let's say 3/13/1979, and we did have some text fields there. We're just going to leave this blank, so let's just say test and test. Let's say test 1, so we can keep that straight, and we'll say test 2, and then install on the home screen. So this is what our customer would do if they got access to our card. So you can see it looks really nice here. They can scan this every time they make a purchase and then earn stamps towards their rewards, okay? You'll also see that it says valid until with an infinity because we did not choose an expiration date. So now we've run our test. When we go back into our workflow here, what we need to do is click here to check for new requests. You'll see now that we've run our test, we actually have some data that we can choose from. And you'll see here is all of the data that it pulled in from that webhook. I'm going to go ahead and save trigger. And you can see automatically it creates a step here to create or update a contact. So now what we need to do is map out the fields so that we can tell the system what information is for what, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and click here to add field, and I'm going to choose my first name here. So now if I click in the box, you'll see nothing comes up, so I can use actually the custom values. I'm going to click here, and you'll see I can use any of this information that I have pulled in from the webhook. So I'm going to choose contact now and choose first name. So anything that it pulls in the webhook with the contact first name is now going to be entered into the system as first name. I also maybe want the last name, so I'm going to go ahead and choose last name, but make sure that you have last name on the form. So I'm going to go ahead and choose contact, last name. I'm also going to choose contact phone number. So let's scroll down here, and you'll see phone. So now we definitely want to capture that phone number. And we may have some other information that we want to capture, like maybe even the card that they used. There's lots of options and different combinations of things that you can choose from. But let's go ahead and just choose, let's choose contact source. And then we could actually map out here if we wanted to from the event so that whatever webhook calls the event, it will actually update in the contact source. This is just something that you may want to choose. You may not. It's totally up to you. I'm going to go ahead and save the action now. You probably do want to create a tag. So I'm going to go ahead and choose tag now. And let's just create a tag that says rewards card, because we want to make sure that we know the people that came in with this specific tag have come into our system via the rewards card. Okay. Now you may have different reward cards that you want to add for different tags and different events and things like that. You can really customize this however you wish. But just for the sake of keeping this simple so that you understand the actual process, I'm just going to choose rewards card and then save action. Now, of course, from here, you could also send an email. You could send a text message. You could send, any of these automations. Maybe you want to give them access to a membership area, or you want to add them to a manual call list, or maybe you want to add them to a different workflow. There's lots of things that you can do, but this is the basic process here. So now what's going to happen is anytime a new card has been downloaded, it's going to trigger this workflow. It's going to create or update a contact, and then it's going to add that tag to their profile within our agency. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save this here, and we'll go ahead and publish it. All right. Now, that is how you want to set it up if you want to use the internal webhook within HighLevel. Okay, that's definitely the easiest one. But if you prefer to use Pabbly, what you want to do, and you'll see here that since we did that test, it pulled in all of the data here for our Sandy Doe customer. And now we can send this to Lead Connector, which is what HighLevel apps are called inside of Zapier, or even the mobile app or the phone system. Anything that's kind of gray label with HighLevel, they call it Lead Connector, so that you as the HighLevel agency owner, your clients can use the Lead Connector app, and it's not branded to HighLevel specifically. Okay, so let's go ahead and look for Lead Connector. We can choose this option, the version 2. You could create just the location, you could create a task, create a business, add notes, and all of that. What we would just want to do is create or update a contact. So go ahead and click connect, and then make sure you have the correct account connected. You can see this is my sub account. I also have another one for my agency. So there are different options. So make sure that you are choosing the correct one. If you're updating a contact, you definitely want to be inside of the sub account location. Okay, so I'm going to click save now. And from here, I can use any of that data that we pulled in basically the same way. Okay, so I'm just going to map out the first name. So I'm going to scroll down till I see first name. I'm going to map out the last name. So I'm just going to scroll down till I see last name. I can add the email address. So let's see, where is the email? Maybe I didn't have email address on that form because it didn't pull it in. Yeah, so I think that was form. Maybe I didn't fill that out on that form. Let's go ahead and choose the phone number. This is what we'll use to map this person. So yeah, if you want the email, make sure that that is on the form and required. Okay, so we're just going to choose email or phone number here. And then, of course, you can choose any of these other options. Now here, you may want to add the tag. You could also add the tag inside of the workflow if you want to. But if you did want to add it here, then what you would need to do is add the parentheses here, or the quotation marks, and then you would want to add your tag, reward cards. Make sure it is the exact tag that you want to use. So now what this does is anytime this contact gets sent into our HighLevel account, they're automatically going to get tagged with reward cards, and you could actually trigger your workflow according to that tag there. Okay. So once this is all set up and correct exactly how you want it, you want to save and send a test request. Now, I'm not going to do that in this account, but it would tell you if it was successful or not. This is the process that you would want to go through. Now, it's a very similar process if you're using Make or Zapier, but this is how you want to connect Boomerang Me with HighLevel. Okay, so it's a really simple process. Of course, it's much more simple if you decide to use the inbound webhook within HighLevel, because then you don't have those extra softwares that you need to create. Okay, so again, if you are not a member of our program, you can go to myvisionagency.com to join. And if you are interested in creating a free trial of Boomerang Me, you can click the link in the description, and you're also going to get an account of our Vision AI ads tool so that you can run your ads for your rewards cards and find massive success and retention. Thank you so, so much for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality. Bye. Thank you so much for joining us for today's training. If you have any questions, you can join us for open office hours starting right now at bridgetbartlett.com. It's free and open to everyone, so I'll see